Hey guys, Level Cap here. Today I've got some exclusive Titanfall 2 gameplay and menu footage. This is basically going to be getting into the pilots. Now there's a lot of different ways to customize your pilots in Titanfall 2 that drastically affect the way you play the game. It's something that I really like about the game because if you like to just run and gun and be crazy fast paced, you can spec your pilot specifically for that. If you want to be a little bit more methodical and strategic, or you want to snipe and get to hard to reach locations, you can do all that kind of stuff. Now there's going to be 6 different types of pilots that are defined by their tactical abilities. I was able to play 5 in this tech test. Their weapons, grenades, and other upgrades and modifiers can all be exchanged between different classes, so the only thing that really differentiates the different pilots are their tactical abilities. Their visual aesthetics are also tied into their tactical abilities, so if you see another pilot running around the battlefield, you'll know what kind of tactical ability they have based on how they look. Each tactical ability comes ready to activate when you spawn in as a pilot, but after you activate it, it does have a cooldown. This cooldown varies between the different tactical abilities, and you can even modify the cooldown with other pilot upgrades. The first tactical ability is Pulse Blade. This is a throwing knife with a sonar pulse that exposes enemies through all surfaces. Think of it as a pulsing grenade that basically creates wall hacks for you in a certain area. But when you throw the Pulse Blade, it will actually kill any enemy on impact, so it can be used both offensively and tactically. Next up we have Grapple, which is described as a grappling hook for getting to out of reach places quickly. Strategically jumping enhances its effectiveness. Now this was one of my favorite pilot tactical abilities. Not only does it allow you to get to weird areas of the map, but it allows you to move around the map even faster, so you can kind of use it like almost Spider-Man swinging around the map. You can even grapple onto other pilots and Titans. Without question, this is going to be one of those abilities for making those cool YouTube montages. Next up we have Holopilot, and this creates a holographic copy of yourself mimicking your actions when activated. So if you're sprinting straight forward and you activate Holopilot, it'll create a holographic version of yourself sprinting in that direction. So you can run down a hallway, activate it, and then take a right turn, and it might look like you kept running down that hallway. This ability is moderately useful, although I found for the most part it was kind of easy to tell what was a holographic pilot and what was not, and only once I think did it fool me to the point where it actually got me killed. The next ability is Stim, which quickly heals you and boosts your speed for a short period of time. There's been talk that Titanfall 2 is not quite as insanely fast as Titanfall 1, and if that bothers you, this might be the ability to use. It makes you go fast, like really fast, and it recharges relatively fast, and you can even boost that recharge speed. So if you'd like to go fast, this might be the upgrade for you. And of course, what Titanfall game is complete without the ability to go completely invisible while fighting your opponent? Cloak. Become nearly invisible, increased effectiveness versus Titan. So basically, this gives you a almost completely transparent appearance. A good player will be able to notice it, but it's still going to be difficult to track an enemy, especially when you're against a complicated background, and it's even harder for a Titan to see you. Now when firing your weapon from Cloak, you do become visible, but immediately re-enter Cloak once you're done firing. So it's still a very effective way to engage in combat. And although I didn't get to play with the 6th ability, based on the trailer it looks like there's a type of teleport or phasing ability. It might actually be similar to the Ronin Titan's ability, perhaps just for a pilot though. Out of the 5 abilities that I tried, I found Grapple to be the most fun and Cloaking to be the most effective. However, on some of the game modes that required holding down a point or playing defensively, Pulse Blade was also very effective. Stim was also really fun for getting around the map quickly, but ultimately I didn't find the heal ability as useful since the time to kill in this game is insanely fast. And as much fun as the Holopilot concept sounds, only creating one copy of yourself doesn't make it too difficult for the enemy to figure out which one the real one is, and it didn't really buy me too much time in firefights. Now you can further modify your pilot's performance and expertise based on your kit loadout. There's Kits 1 and Kit 2. In Kit 1 you have the Power Cell, which increases the rate at which your tactical ability recharges, so you can use it more frequently. This is a great ability. Then we have fast regen, which means your health regeneration begins sooner after taking damage. And then there's phase embark, which quickly teleports you into your Titan. And I believe it also teleports you out of your Titan as well. So this is kind of a cool way to make your pilot play better with Titans versus making your pilot just more effective on their own. Then we also have Kit 2, which is the second way of modifying your pilot. And the first ability here is Kill Report. Enemy death locations are marked by skulls on the heads up display. So it basically just gives you a bit more intel about what's going on the battlefield. Then we also have Wall Hang, which allows you to hang on a wall by aiming while you're wall running. This is a very effective tactic. If somebody's chasing you and you run around a corner, you can just hang on the wall. They won't be expecting it. It's a nice, cheap way to get some kills. And then last but not least, in fact, this one's probably my favorite, is Hover. Aiming while airborne allows you to hover in place. And this is something that combos really well with some of the faster moving abilities. If you choose Sprint or Grapple, you can kind of fling yourself into the air and then hover, throwing the enemy off that was trying to track you, and you can usually get some good kills doing so. In fact, one of my favorite moments was when I used the grappling to throw myself into the air using a nearby tower, hover in midair with a sniper rifle by aiming down sights and sniping someone across the map. I'm sure that's going to be happening a lot when the game comes out, but it is very cool the first time you do it. Each pilot can then also choose between one of 4 different grenades. There's of course the standard frag grenade, operates as you might expect. I didn't find it as effective for fighting other pilots because of the delay with it. It was just really hard when everybody's moving so fast. However, when used against AI, it can inflict massive damage. Then we have the arc grenade. Admittedly, I didn't use it too much, but it's a good stun grenade for both pilots and enemy Titans. I was hit by it a couple times while operating my Titan, and this seems like a good versatile grenade. Then we have the electric smoke grenade. This serves as both a visual obstruction grenade and something that does massive damage over time, so you can use it to both block an area visually and physically, as you're not going to want to run through that as a pilot. And then last, we have my favorite anti-pilot grenade. This is the Gravity Star. Pulls in enemies and projectiles before exploding. So not only does this suck in like slow-moving ordnance, but it'll suck in pilots and then it'll blow up, damaging them. It won't one-shot kill them, but it does suck them into an area, making them very easy for you to shoot. All grenades are unlimited, but they each have their own specific cooldown time, so there's no real way to spam grenades, but some grenades may recharge faster. Now, if you're a fan of Titanfall 1, you might remember burn cards, and whether you like them or not, they are no longer in Titanfall 2. Instead, we have boosts. And to put it as simply as possible, boost is basically a kill streak. After you get enough points or damage or whatever in a round, you can activate your boost ability. This first one here is Amped Weapons. It does exactly what it sounds. It supercharges your primary and secondary weapon, causing them to do increased damage. This can be very effective with guns, taking certain weapons from 3-shot kills to 2-shot kills. It is very dangerous. The second boost that was available during the tech test is Ticks, and this basically deploys little spider mines around the map that will go out and seek the enemies before exploding. They can do some damage. You can blow them up by shooting them as well. In fact, you can kill the person who deployed the Ticks if you shoot the tick while it's close to the guy who deployed it. So they can backfire on the deployer, but they can work well in defensive-oriented maps. And I imagine there's going to be considerably more boost cards. My only critique is that I kind of wish they were tied in with the pilot loadout rather than being a universal selection, as some of these boost cards seem to correlate very specifically with what kind of pilot you're playing. Then of course we have other aesthetic ways of customizing your character and pilot. I have a feeling what we're seeing in the tech test is extremely limited compared to what we're going to see in the full version. The devs that were at the event when we were playing were telling us that there is so much more in the final game, and I can only imagine their eagerness to show it to us, considering that's basically what most Titanfall fans want to know about, is how much new content is there. The tech test was a very promising first look at playing Titanfall 2, and I'm very excited to see what kind of other features they offer. Stay tuned to my channel for more Titanfall 2 content coming out this week, and as always, thanks for watching. I'll see you next time. This is Level Cap signing off.